Blessings to you, my beautiful sisters. So I have here your personalized reading, and I'm just going to get right into it. So the first cards are the overall theme and message of your reading. So you have Nest in the upright, Star in the upright, Hope in reverse, and, Bike in the upright. Okay, so this connection is a connection that is built upon bringing out the best in both of you energetically. This is a union of ascension. This is a union that is long term, but it is one of those unions that can't be just solely based upon love, but understanding of the growth. And I say this because love can be very fickle, and with this relationship being like a bike, when you were a kid, you were riding a bike and you'd fall off and you'd have to get back on again. And I feel like this is that kind of relationship where you're going to have to learn, just like you're learning to walk again, and you're going to fall again and you're going to get back up. But with this, because of it's getting to the root of a lot of issues that need to be healed within both of you. And with this purple right here, it's all about your perspective and your understanding about this divine connection and keeping that and not losing sight of that, because there are going to be times when you're like, I don't even really like him, you know what I mean? I can't stand him sometimes, but the understanding of the long-lasting soul connection of this union, you have to keep that in mind. And with this blue, it's like the ways of your communication is key to being able to get back on this bike when you fall off. Being communicative, being able to communicate, and being able to have that space where you guys are speaking about what's going on, how you feel, things that need to be addressed. That kind of not going to bed without addressing this issue and coming to some kind of agreement, understanding, or compromise. Okay. See, why I say this, Spirit is telling me why being connected to both of your energies is like you guys can't lose hope, can't lose sight and what the reason why you guys met in the first place, why this connection was so important to you while you were here on this journey in this lifetime, that it was one of learning, growing, expanding, building the best you can possibly be. And that's hard. That's not easy, because you got this star here and the star's in the upright, and it's like the possibilities are endless, but you guys got to keep your eyes on the prize. You can't lose sight of all the different distractions or the little minor setbacks, or when you guys get caught up in little emotional dumb stuff. There is a higher purpose and a goal within this union. Because I see this nest, I see this as being a place where you can feel comfortable to lay your eggs or put your eggs in, your eggs in that one basket, or feel that it's like your home, that, your little nest is what I feel with this connection. So it's just the overall understanding about the importance of this union, and that it's one that is supposed to be long lasting, that it's not one that is going to be an easy one, but it's one that will definitely gradually throughout time pay off significantly for the both of you because of this star card. Okay, all right, so moving right along. Oh, and I forgot one thing I pulled out. It is this. It says life is about making sure things happen, not waiting for something to happen. So with this being said, I feel like this is also another message from your higher selves and your lower self, saying that this is a relationship of things that you guys have to kind of be action oriented with that star to make things happen for yourself. But that's why you've been brought together, to make the things that you want to have happen manifest. And that's very, very important within this connection, to continue to make things happen for yourselves, or to more so, what I feel with the stars, to be in alignment energetically for these things to happen, to be have that understanding that you guys are walking that same path, that you guys want the same things, that you guys want to achieve these goals. Keeping that understanding of why this union is so significant to you both. Okay? So moving on, let's go. Let's see. Got a lot of ground to cover. So let's go with the who is Ben energetically. Who is he to you? And why did you guys meet? Let's see. You have reunion of souls in the upright. You have growth in the upright. You have death in the upright. You have perception in the upright. You have psychic abilities, upright, boundaries, and reverse, and travel. So like I said, this connection is definitely based upon a soul reunion connection. One of you guys definitely know each other before this lifetime, and like I said, this is a connection of bringing out the best of you. That's what I keep hearing, bringing the best out of both of you. That Anita Baker song, I want to send it to you, because I'm hearing that too. So it's more so giving you the best that I got. That one, I'll send you that song, because this connection is built upon a divinity and the growth and ascension of both of you guys, because you're more so of a psychic, prophetic, intense kind of an energy, and he's more so of that playful, persuasive, but also observant and he will sit and watch and observe. He has that patience in him where he looks and listens, and that's kind of how he moves around. But anyway, the connection is definitely one that is been planned out, one that has the sole purpose. One of the sole purpose is for the ascension and the growth of both of the souls, because you have this growth in upright, and that means that it's more confirmation of what I was saying about why he is present, why you guys met. It is for the growth of the both of you, growing out of karmic ties and karmic ways of thinking and perceiving, and therefore experiencing the world. And like old scripts, I feel like both of you guys are going to be working through these old scripts or these old timelines that you guys are going to be helping each other through, encouraging one another to see past those false timelines, right? And then with the travel, like I said, with the travel, I feel like this relationship is one that is going to take you different places, not just physically, but also spiritually. Maybe you guys will meet like astral travel or something of that nature, but I definitely feel as though with the traveling coming out, it's more so about this relationship taking you from one level to another, and I feel like there's a bunch of levels as to where this connection will take you both. With that bike, it's like I see there'll be, one level, and then there'll be like an initiation process where you guys kind of, and then back on the bike again, and then there's another level. That's the way I feel like this kind of connection is going to move about within your life. And then you have the boundaries. So I feel as though because he is very, very persuasive at times, that can come off as being more so manipulative. So you have to be careful with that. And I think a lot of times it's more so about how you guys are respecting each other's boundaries and not pulling too much from each other energetically when it comes to that self-confidence and that doubt. Because I feel like you both have that issue where subconsciously, because of the past relationships, that self-doubt and that insecurity and reassurance is a thing. But it feels like it's more so you, because I feel like he's not insecure about this connection. He understands where he stands with you and how appreciative and grateful he is for you. But that is something that you both have to maintain, that appreciation and that what can I say the word? That admiring, the admiration for the both of you. And then you have the psychic abilities. So I feel like with the psychic abilities, it's more of what I was saying earlier about the ascension. Because of the leveling up and the growth that is going to transpire within this connection, I feel like you're you being as psychic as you are is going to just grow and manifest more because of this connection, because trusting yourself and building that self-confidence and that self-worth within this connection, that solar plexus is just going to align you more in a place and space where you can be vulnerable enough to accept and open to your own gifts. I feel the same way with him. I feel like you're more so that psychic and he's more so that earthly matter, grounded kind of logical being. But because of your connection and because of you energetically, he trusts that psychic and that spiritual part of himself a little bit more. So I feel like you both are going to be helping one another grow in that aspect as well. And then you have perception in reverse, and I feel like the perception in reverse has to do with you being in a space and being open to this connection being what it is. I feel like because, again, you've been in such a horrible place as far as relationship goes, like your marriage was not the best, right? I feel like subconsciously there's still like these old scripts of, is this okay? Is this right? Am I making a mistake? Is this, that kind of repetitive overthinking with this connection, which can kind of get in the way of you being open and accepting to how he is. I feel like it's like that Cinderella complex where he's always reassuring you and giving you the attention, and like you said, he'll literally put a blanket over a puddle of water so you can walk over it. I feel like that's how he is, but I feel like you're more so skeptical of that energy because of your last relationship. And I say that because of this card right here, and you see death with the karmic loop, kind of being stuck in that unworthiness, that uncertainty, that lack of self-confidence, and not to mention he still has some of that too. It's not as strong in him. Well, yeah, it is strong in him, but in a different way, where he feels that that inability to receive what he gives out. You know what I'm saying? That inability to feel like he's deserving of the energy that he puts out to the people that he loves. So with the death card, like I said, the perception of not being worthy, that perception of, is this real? That perception of looking at him side-eye like he's doing too much, or, not being open to accepting this kind of union is something that you have to be mindful of, because it'll get in the way of this union blossoming and manifesting the way that it's supposed to, All right. So next is, are you guys compatible? Yes, you are. And like I said, you're definitely compatible, but here's the thing. I said in the beginning about love. Love is a very, especially in this human experience, it's very, what's the word? It's a word I had, but it's one of those things, right? That when you're growing in a connection with someone, right? Even with yourself at times, you have this inability to see through the lens of love for whatever the reason is, because maybe the perspective is stuck in old wounds or timelines and things of that nature. But when you're growing and you're ascending within a connection, there are going to be times when you're not able to see or perceive this connection through the lens of love, because let's say that it's triggering you, let's say that it's pushing you into an uncomfortable space, it's pushing you out of an old timeline. You're going to be triggered by that. You're not going to be like, oh, this is so, I just love him. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like that. It's going to be, I want to get away from this, because it's pushing you out of old scripts and timelines and self-sabotaging behaviors and ways of thinking and being. So with this love being in reverse, I feel like it's one of those relationships you have to be aware of, that at times it's not going to feel so loving because of the growth and the triggering of that growth. Like, I feel like he's more comfortable with communicating how he feels. I feel like that's a problem for you. Like, you can be stubborn, and he can be too, but you more so stubborn with your communication, and when you only communicate when you're like really passionate, or when it gets to a boiling point, and that's something that he's going to be trying to pull out of you. Communicate how you feel. Be a little bit more precise in how you feel. Be a little bit more expressive, but not in a negative way. And sometimes that might get on your nerves, because you kind of, you want to kind of go with your own tempo and your own flow, and I'll talk when I'm ready, or it's going to take me time to figure out what I want to say, or, that kind of thing. So I feel like that is something that needs to be brought into awareness, so you can keep that in mind while you guys are in this union together. Commitment. See, because this commitment is in reverse, and why it's in reverse is because the commitment in this union, what's so important is the commitment with self. So the work that you're doing, which is wonderful. I love this spread. The commitment that you're doing within yourself, your own healing, your own self-awareness, understanding that this relationship is to push you out of old ways of being and thinking, and to help you to evolve. So it's going to push you. It's going to trigger you. It's going to put you in spaces where you feel uncomfortable. But it's like the commitment to self is first, and then this commitment that you have with him won't be an issue. It won't be a problem. So always remember that the self-love and the self-journey of healing is number one. Because with this card being in upright transformation, I keep telling you, this connection is all about transformation, self-growth, self-love, self-awareness, and that death and rebirth. That's why I keep seeing you falling off the bike and getting on it again. That's kind of how this is, because there's a lot of residual energy and things that you guys have to work through, separately and together. So it's not going to be easy, but it's one of those things that you can see that can be very, very beautiful and worthwhile within this connection. And with the financial health being in reverse and happiness being in reverse, I feel like that's just in reference to you guys understanding, because I feel like both of you guys are, once you get into a space as far as your career goes, that you both will be focused on that, because this connection is more so pouring into the both of you, far as giving you that push, like go ahead and do it, being supportive and things of that nature. But a lot of times you guys can get lost in that aspect of yourself, trying to get that bag, trying to get that money, trying to do this, trying to build, which is fine. But I feel as though what Spirit is saying is that don't get lost in that. Excuse me. Because if you get lost in that, you'll understand that it's not what really feeds the soul, even though this is something that we need here to become free and, what we need to live. This is not something that feeds your soul, and this is not something that's going to bring you that ultimate happiness, to not lose sight in what you're doing, your goals and things outside of the relationship, and outside of this union, and to really work on that self-confidence, both of you. I think that's something you both need to work on, regarding that solar plexus. With it in reverse, you guys both, with this being in reverse, you guys both will have the answers that you need when it comes to fixing and acknowledging things that need to be acknowledged within this connection. You just have to be not in a place of being snobbish or overbearing or stubborn towards one another. I feel like you guys you both have these opinions and these ways of seeing, these judgmental ways kind of when it comes to each other. So you have to be mindful of that, because that can really block the clarity you need to have the answers that can help one another in regards to, let it be your career, let it be your goals, let it be, so be careful when it comes to being judgmental of each other, or pushing your own perspectives or narratives onto one another. Imposing is what I feel. All right, moving on to the next. This is what is his love language in contrast to yours? Okay, so I think this connection is very compatible when it comes to love language, because I feel like he likes to give a lot of love, to show you he appreciates you, and I feel like you do to some extent. But like I said, I'm worried about old timelines in the both of you when it comes to accepting this energy from the both of you, because like I said, I feel as though because of your past experience, it can kind of taint this connection. So you have focus in the upright, attraction in the upright, protection. Where can I ask for help in the upright? Am I getting enough rest in the upright? And how can I infuse more self-love and compassion in my daily life? Okay. So yes, like I said, you guys are both manifestors. You both have that attraction with each other. You both are able to focus on the things that you want and attract them and manifest them. And also, like I said, I feel like that physical attraction, because I know that having that physical attraction and having that intimacy physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually is very important to your energetic body. And I feel like for him, it's more so him being able to provide that for his partner is important. So the focus, I feel like the focus in this connection is very important, because if you guys are focusing on that what you want to manifest, let's say you even have an issue with the way that you guys are expressing each other as far as the connection romantically, you focus on or bring attention on that aspect, and you'll be able to manifest that within the connection, because I know that he's willing in all aspects and you are too. So that's what makes it very much a compatible connection. With this protection in reverse, I feel like he's he has like that savior protective complex when it comes to you, but sometimes it can be overwhelming and draining. So you have to be careful with that when he's just trying to persuade you of certain things or reassure you of certain things. That's why I said the solar plexus is really important to work on for the both of you. Focusing on your own self-confidence and so you're not draining each other energetically when it comes to that aspect of things, because that protection is in the upright, and I don't want him to feel as though he has to always protect the union. And not only that, with this protection being in reverse, is that you have to protect it too, because I feel like with this union, it being such a divine connection, I feel like the parentals or the people around you, the relatives or friends, will try to distract you guys, or like be meddlesome, because they're not understanding of this connection or what it is, or maybe they have their own doubts because of the last partners in your relationship. But I feel like you guys have to stand your ground and protect what y'all know this connection to be, because people are going to be coming forward in different ways, okay? If that makes sense. And then in the upright, these are some things that I think you both are aware of. Where can I ask for more help in my life? So like I said, with the communication, being in a space and place where you can ask for help but not be nasty about it. You can allow him to be in a space and place where he can accept that help. Because I feel as though he's very, very almost too willing to give it, and that brings up red flags for you. That's triggering you, and then it's also putting him in a space where he's not willing to accept it from you. So there's work there, But But I think it has to do with communication. If you guys are both communicating to each other and you see where he, baby, do you need me to help you out there, or what's going on, that kind of energy, I feel like it'll be fine. And then, am I getting enough rest? Am I restoring my energy fully? So you guys both have to be, because you have this manifesting energy, I feel like with that solar plexus, you both have a lot of action oriented energy. Like, you both like to be getting shit done. You have to be aware of when one or the other is doing too much in this union, or is doing too much just in general, and not getting enough sleep, and not getting enough appreciation or recognition, or not being poured into. Because I feel like with him, he's going to overdo it sometimes, and you're going to have to tell him, it's okay, I got it, I don't really need, you need to go worry about you. You need to go, why don't you take 5 minutes and lay down, take a nap, I got this type of energy. Yeah, I feel like that's something that, with the purple, this is that crown chakra energy is something that you have to be psychically aware of, and you're very, very intuitive and psychic, so I know you will know when he needs to be more attentive to him instead of the union or whatever it is that externally is happening outside of him. And then with this, how can I infuse more self-love and compassion within my life? I feel like both of you guys, like I said, with that card coming up about how important it is to, be continuously ongoing when it comes to that, the self-love journey and healing, how important it is to stay on your own path, because that is the direct link to this union. So if you guys are both not doing the work, it's going to directly affect the union. Because like I said, if you guys are both working on triggering old timelines and old ways of thinking and being, and this one person's trying to be stuck and in a certain way of, being stubborn. Because like I said, I feel like you both at times have stubborn and snobbish tendencies, right? You have to be aware of when you're being stagnant, or you're being stuck too long, or you're just being emotionally unwilling to grow. And I feel like with him too, he has that way of that. He's a master. He's a persuader, which is almost supernatural for him. That's why I said he'd be really good in whatever creative or career ventures, because he can persuade. He could sell anything. He really could. I don't know if he knows that about himself, but that's the truth. So, with him having that persuasive, or that energy, being able to pour into people, telling them how great they are. He needs to be able to do that to himself, and you need to encourage him to do that for and to himself daily. Because, like I said, because he has that energy, it feels very much supernatural, to where if he's not in balance, it'll become manipulative. He'll be able to bend certain situations and things and circumstances at his will, which can be not good, and can karmically screw you guys up. So he has to be very careful of how he's using that gift he has of persuasion. Okay. All right. And with the blue, sorry, it's all about communicating. You guys have to be communicating your the things that you need from each other, from the situation, from the circumstances, what you're lacking, and things like that. Okay. All right. Moving on. What do we have here? Do you guys have karmic past life ties? Yes, you do have past life ties. Are they karmic? Are they karmic? I don't think that it doesn't feel like a karmic thing. This relationship doesn't feel karmic. That your other one was, your husband was karmic. But I feel like this relationship is more so of getting releasing and dealing with and addressing those old karmic patterns and ties. So I don't feel as though this connection is karmic. I feel like it's the undoing of the karmic relationship, if that makes any sense. Sometimes it's hard for me to explain what I'm trying to say. But with the Eight of Pentacles, this is about money. Pentacles to me is all about the solar plexus. I always see the solar plexus when I pull out Pentacles. That's why I say cards speak to me differently. I don't always have the same meaning as the general public when it comes to tarot and all that other stuff. I have a different meaning for everybody. It's just the way that I work. I don't do it the same. So with this Eight of Pentacles being up and up in the upright, it's the awareness of the root cause of things and what it's going to take for your path to be successful and how you have great potential. But there's a lot of tending to the ground that has to be done. Right, you got to keep your emotions in check, keep your perspectives in check, and that's why I said it's important to keep the end goal in mind. Okay, what are we doing here? We got work to do. We're cleaning up some of this karmic energy. We're working through some of these old timelines. We're cleaning some of these energetic curses when it comes to money. Because like I told you, and I feel as though this is something that's also a part of his divine purpose, that cleaning up that karmic energy when it comes to his money and abundance, and that solar plexus creating more opportunities of abundance and things like that through his solar plexus. Because you remember I told you that a long time ago, that this was a part of your mission to clear that karmic deck as far as money and abundance goes within your own bloodline. So this is something that I feel as though you guys are both doing. But there's a lot of work to do. Don't give up in your pursuits. Make sure that the energy is worthwhile, meaning that you're giving and receiving in your endeavors, because you guys are that energy that's always going to pour yourself into, give all of yourself to whatever cause that it is. Whatever it is you're doing, you're going to give it your all. So make sure that it's worth that energy. The payout will be worth it. And with the King of Pentacles being upright, I believe this is just confirmation of what I was saying with this, about being in a space and place where you'll open up that solar plexus, allowing these opportunities and circumstances of abundance to pour in financially, and more than just finances, because I feel like you guys are going to get that and you're going to see this is great, but we also need to focus on each other. Because this being up in the upright is all about the lucky touch, like the Midas touch. Whatever it is you do is going to be successful kind of energy. Right. And I feel like just with this being upright, knowing that you have this Midas touch and not allowing your physical or your ego or your persona to get in the way of that, because it'll block you, your emotions, your self-doubt, with the both of you, that solar plexus. If you're doubting your Midas touch at any time, then you're going to block yourself from receiving the stuff that's already there for you. So be mindful of that. And this is for the both of you, not blocking your own blessings is what I'm hearing. And then for the King of Wands. Okay, so the King of Wands is in reverse. So this is all about your creative power, calculating your next step in your project, not acting too soon, but not delaying your action. So I feel like this is a balance in between both of you. That's just wonderful. Thank you, Spirit. So this is the balance between both of you that needs to occur, because I feel like he is that wait, look, watch, wait, and listen. You know what I mean? I feel like you're that, oh, let's do it. I'm ready to go type of energy. So you both have to come into balance with that, with the union having a different flow, because you both have a different way of flowing when it comes to doing things, like I said in the beginning. But there's a compromise that needs to happen when it comes to the way that you guys are making the decision collectively. So you guys need to come together and say, all right, with my psychic abilities and my ability to sit, listen, and watch, what do we think we should do? What should the next move be? Would this be profitable for us? Would this be energetically responsible? that kind of energy is what I feel like it needs to be acknowledged in this connection for things to really transpire the way that Spirit wants to work with you guys regarding this connection. All right. Okay, what is the lesson you guys need to learn? What are some lessons you need to learn within this connection? Well, I kind of did tell you guys a lot of them. What am I afraid of losing? What expectations do I have that are impossible? And do I know all my strengths and weaknesses? So with this connection, I feel as though you guys have to be mindful of your own strengths and weaknesses. That's why I said it's so important to be aware of your own spiritual journey and healing, understanding what your weaknesses are. Hey, I have a problem with communicating what I need. I got to work on that. You know, for an example, I have a problem with being stubborn. I got to work on that. Or, you know, that kind of stuff with this being in the upright. And I feel like you guys already know this. But Spirit is saying this is something you need to be aware of. And with this, what am I afraid of losing? That there's going to be a lot of transformation. And you guys both know, well, I know Kimmy knows, that in transformation, there's a lot of death. So there's a lot of letting go of things and not holding on to old ideas physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I mean, just letting go of old belief systems. Okay, Spirit. Old belief systems and things of that nature, not holding on to stuff. That non-attachment way of being is very important, because if you get that scared energy, that doubtful energy, that lack of confidence, you guys are going to have an issue when it comes to the energy within this connection. So it's very important to not be afraid of what you feel like you might be losing, but understand what it is you're gaining when you're letting go of certain stuff. Opening up and being vulnerable about things that need to be released within this connection and individually. And then what expectations do I have that are impossible? Understanding that you have to have those expectations of yourself first, both of you. Anything you're expecting the other to do, make sure you're doing it for yourself first. If you're expecting this person, well, why is this person isn't giving me, taking me out? Did you take yourself out? Why is this person isn't worried about how I feel? Why you ain't worried about how you feel? Why, whatever it is that you're expecting from this other outside person, make sure you're having that expectation for yourself. And I believe that's why that connection, that card came up about how important it is to have that connection with yourself, that strong relationship with yourself first before you're asking of the external world, people, places, and things to show you certain stuff, because energetically with that attraction card, you both have to embody that energy in order to receive the stuff that you're looking for. So make sure that you understand that. That's very important to understand that you have to embody the things that you want first, the things that you wish to manifest first. Be a straight up energetic embodiment of it, because that's how energy works scientifically. I mean, energy attracts like energy. That's just how it is. So those are some of the lessons that you guys are learning now, okay? All right, moving on. What is it to be gained in this connection? So I have two, but you guys, I didn't do too many because we've said a lot throughout this reading, so there's a lot you guys can gain. But this sock, right? I love my sight words cards. I do. So with the sock is all about that. All right, so close your eyes, right? When you put on a warm sock, what does it feel like? Doesn't it feel like it has that protection? Like, even if you know that a sock don't protect you from stepping on a nail or something like that, you feel this perception that it does, right? You feel warmth, it feels familiar, that all of that. And Spirit is saying this is how that connection is going to, this is the kind of type of sensation and feeling that this connection is going to bring you, that heart center, that warm and cozy and that cuddly, familiar of home feeling. But also with the sock, I say don't be in a space and place of false discernment or false protection, because you guys, it's like with that Cinderella complex or that glass slipper, or just having a sock and you're trying to walk on a bed of nails. Be mindful that there are people, places, and things that are not going to understand this connection, or that are going to try to sabotage it because of their lack of understanding of how important this connection is and how heart-based this connection is. Because it's hard to say. People, love is the highest vibration, but there are things beyond that, and I can't explain it to you. But there are connections that go beyond that. It's weird. I know it's hard to explain, but this is one of them. The love is the center of it, but the union goes beyond that, and divinity goes beyond our let's say, that's the best way I can explain it. Goes beyond our concept of what love is. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so with this one, this is my Psalms cards, which I love, but I still haven't spent a lot of time with this deck, so I don't energetically know it, and I apologize for that. But with this being in reverse, this is like you felt left behind. You felt like everybody else was at a certain place. Why didn't I things work out? Why didn't I, still subconsciously you think about that, why didn't things just work out? Why did I have to go through that? And now I'm doing this all over again. And Spirit is saying, don't look at it like that. Everything happens for a reason. And don't allow that old timeline or way of thinking, or that old sock with the hole in it, meaning that old relationship that had the holes and stuff in it, keep you from I love this because it just brings light and funniness to stuff. Keep you away from this comfortable, lovely sock that you're about to put on, or lovely shoe, that you're about to put on. That Cinderella shoe, don't let it block you from that. Because it can and it will if you allow that old timeline or way of thinking and perceiving and being into this connection, okay? So it's very important not to do that. And I feel like with this connection, you're going to gain all of that. You're going to gain the understanding of why things had to play out the way that they did, why this connection happened right now in this moment in time for you and for him, and how it's going to be in a place and space where it's able to build upon that love and that romance from a heart-centered place. Also working on your divinity, your understanding of your own sovereignty, how divinity works, how the Most High works. In addition to with the blue, that throat chakra, you both understanding the real nature of being of communication when it comes to a union and the flow within a union. Okay, and last but not least, I have, what I got over here? I got advice. So I think for this reading, and I had fun doing this reading. I love when I have fun doing readings. But this reading is the bringing out the best of you, the bringing out the best, giving you the best that I got. I gotta send it. I think it's more so, you guys. My advice from Spirit is telling me is develop more self-confidence. Work on that solar plexus, on that self-doubt and that self-reassurance and that insecurities and stuff within yourself, and stop trying to prove yourself to other people. Stop trying to prove your connection to other people, what you guys understand and overstand about each other in this union, this connection. Don't prove yourself. And try to, focus on your goals, but not lose sight within your goals. And beware of being overbearing, stubborn, or snobbish when it comes to certain aspects, certain issues or topics, or, when you can become judgmental or try to impose your way of thinking onto people, okay? So that's just my thing. All right, so you have the Seven of Coins, peace, sovereignty, faith, and realization. So like I said, a lot of self-reflection and realization within yourself that will help this connection. So this being in reverse, you got to be aware of being have that mind, soul, and body in alignment when it comes to this connection, and keeping faith when things don't look the way that they should, or feel with the feelings feel the way that they should. I think we are in a space where we run from the things that hurt, or we run from the things that are hard. But the things that are hard, the pain is what Of course, we don't want that to be a constant thing. You know, we don't want to live in struggle and pain. But I'm saying at times, there are times when there's an initiation process, when there's a time you have to outgrow or push out, you know, kind of birth and release that old part of yourself, that old person energetically, and birth anew. And that hurts. It's not, you know, a nice thing, but this is something we came to do. So be mindful of that when it comes to each other. And don't lose sight of your own sovereignty, your own divinity, and your own personal power and will. Like I said, that solar plexus is a big thing for y'all. Being aware of your own goals, being aware of your own personal power, being aware of your own limitations, your self-doubt, your insecurities, and things of that nature. And then with the peace being in reverse, also maintaining that vibration, like I told you earlier, that vibration. You guys are both very much attractive and manifestive beings. So it's so important to understand the three. These is what I teach. The three understandings of how to manifest or attract things. One is your thoughts. Your thoughts are vibrational. They are alive. They are living being things. So whatever you're thinking, let it be good or positive, you're going to attract that. And then in turn, the words that you're speaking, you know, there's life and death of the tongue. So the stuff that you're speaking over yourself, your circumstances, other people, make sure that's in alignment with the third thing, which is, so your thoughts, the words that you speak, and in turn, the decisions and actions and behaviors that you take in your daily life are what are manifesting the things that are showing up in your life experience. So it's so important that you hold yourself accountable and you take the responsibility when it comes to all three of those things, because being a sovereign being and a co-creator of your existence, that's what you're bringing into your space, into your reality. And when you have a union, that person is going to experience that your universe as well. So it's very important that you're living in a certain space and place of peace, and having those expectations on yourself before you have others. If you want peace and love in your union, make sure you embody that. If you want patience in your union, make sure you embody that. You want somebody that listens within your connection, make sure you embody that. And then last but not least, you have the Seven of Coins. Because she's in reverse, she is I think she is a reminder of what I said earlier about wasted, fruitfulness endeavors. You know, don't overwork yourself. Don't be too focused on your goals. You know, don't get lost in it. Don't become workaholics, because you guys both have had that tendency to do that. Don't be thinking short term when it comes to this connection, because it's not one of those things where it's a short term thing. It's not. I told you, I feel like this union is a marriage union, a successful union of marriage. Understanding that you're reaping what you sow, and it's more confirmation of what I was saying. You know, being mindful of your thoughts, being mindful of the words, and in turn the actions that you're taking every single day. You know, understanding there will be setbacks, but don't get drawn and lost in those setbacks. Make sure you're not wasting energy. You both have to be mindful, because your manifestors are where it is your focus and intention are going. And if those are negative and positive or not. And being mindful when one of you is in need, or the other, or one is being too energetically pulled from than the other. You understand? I think the strength of this relationship is the encouraging ability of you both, that you give into this connection, and you know, encouraging each other to be better. And I think the acceptance of one another is also a big thing, and being admired is also a big thing. But I think the weakness is, like I said, that solar plexus, that self-doubt, at times being unhappy and stubborn, that frustration. I think you both get a little bit frustrated, but I think that needs to be acknowledged when it does happen, and it needs to be communicated, okay, and talked about. And also pushy. I think you both can kind of be overbearing at times with your opinions and your, you know what I mean, and your judgment, you know, trying to be kind of opposing, you know, so be mindful of that. Okay, so that's all I have. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. Love you.